welcome to Fairly Interesting, where we are talking Zachariah Anderson versus Wisconsin, not the other way around. And today we have with us the expert on the Zachariah Anderson case, Lawkong himself. Welcome, sir. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you.
That is great to have you on here. I've been listening to your stuff, and anyone who hasn't listened needs to listen to Lawkong. Go check out his channel. I haven't linked it in the description, but for the rewatch, I will. But today we're talking about day 6. We have a ton of witnesses. We're going to try to push as much as we can through today. We have Celia, the Rosalio's mother's cross-examination. Then we have Chronicles of Narnia. We go then into Officer Giovanni. Yeah, we'll say yep. Giovanni. We've got Brendan Hendricks. We've got Brandon Hendrickson. I wrote that backwards. That's why I'm all messed up. We got Miss Noel. Miss Noel, who I'm going to go out and speculate was a former lover of Rosalio Gutierrez. And then we have Michael Campbell. We have a ton of stuff to talk about today. We have some hearsay stuff. We have the DA being escorted out of the courtroom. What is all that about? So that's our day today. Welcome everybody in the chat.
The intro.
Here's my intro. That was better.
And don't you have some exclusives?
Oh, we do. We have exclusives. We have 2 911 calls today. Exclusive, never before heard 911 calls today. So you guys are not going to want to miss that. So now, stick around.
Technically, 1 911 call, 1 phone call to a police dispatcher. Either way, it's close.
Well, okay, we say all we want. I believe it's the same operator if you listen to it side by side. So, however the call was made, but yes. So we have Michael Campbell and Zachariah Anderson's call to the police and/or 911. So we'll be playing those as well. And thank you, Stray, for throwing Lawkong's link in the chat. All right. So, Solomon, we start off with cross-examination of Rosalio's mother. She was on the stand yesterday. What do we have anything really to add to her testimony or the discussion, anyways, regarding her testimony?
Oh, I think Joe had pointed one thing out is that nobody has seen the footage that she took of walking the apartment when she went to clean it out. So that would be an interesting piece, the comparatively to the crime scene photographs and the crime scene walkthrough as conducted by the police, especially because the cell phone and credit cards just showed up after she went in to clean the freezer out. Were they there the whole time? Was it
Van Wee testified he went into the freezer already?
On shoots.
Oh, on shoots. Whatever.
No, only
matters which one.
Only Gravely talks about on shoots being in the freezer on day 12.
Oh, on day 12.
On shoots is never asked about the freezer. Never.
Oh, okay.
He's not asked about it. It does come in later.
It's never part of his testimony.
So that'll be something that we get to touch base on a little bit later. But we did have a really interesting moment. You mentioned it in the opening. We have both prosecutors, the district attorney and the assistant district attorney, Jessica Kruzarek, that Joe gave, that coined a very lovely name for in episode 5 of his newsletter, who made themselves witnesses in the case. And I think you got a clip for this one, right?
Yes. Again, it doesn't matter how long you've been practicing your trade. There's always more to learn.
The point is that the issue here is that this witness, this critical witness, significantly changed her story. Those 2 prosecutors were the only 2 people with her when she did that.
And I said last time, I thought that was a mistake.
Yes.
And I granted a mistrial because I thought it was a mistake.
Mr. Gravely has an independent obligation as a licensed attorney in the state of Wisconsin to recuse himself from the case because by definition he's a witness, and by the ethical rules say you cannot be a witness and a lawyer in the same case.
Tell me that rule.
Supreme Court Rule 20.3.3, the ABA Comment 2 makes it clear that that officers of the court to avoid conduct that undermines the integrity of the adjudicative process, when you're a witness, that the prosecutor cannot simultaneously prosecute a case and be a witness in that case.
When the trier of fact may be confused or misled by a lawyer serving as both advocate and witness, the opposing party has proper objection where the combination of roles may prejudice that party's right in the litigation. We're in a perilous area. I think you're probably going to be precluded from arguing anything about the case.
And you were ordering him to be out of the room during this examination.
Again, I would object, Judge. As the court knows, I'm acting as a steward of the evidence and the discussions in this case. I intend to make an argument in this case at the end. For me to not be able to watch this key witness is not appropriate.
Ms. Grzarek is a very competent lawyer, and I'm quite confident that she'll be able to handle this issue. And I'm not saying you're off the case. I'm saying she will handle the examination. I will permit you to watch the video of the testimony before argument, if you are going to be arguing.
Okay,
and I'll even let you listen to the audio.
Yeah, I'm going to ask that the court not have the jury have the specter of me not be present.
I am going to give a brief instruction to the jury that our attorney rules have provisions about lawyers on the case testifying, and for that reason, I've asked you to step outside the room.
Did this keep getting longer and longer? But that was such a good one.
It's so important, though. This is something that Birdsall cites with a Supreme Court statute that they read out in the courtroom, and it leverages the judge to do the bare minimum. For the record, he should have thrown him off the case and should have thrown Krzyzarek off the case. Both of them made themselves witnesses, and that's part of the argument with this. But he didn't do that. He didn't go that far.
Well, here's the thing. So the judge said early on, you might be precluded from arguing anything on this case. You might be off the case. We have to see what the testimony is going to be. But at the very least, you're out of the room for the testimony. You're not going to be able to participate. Now, if you stay on the case, I'll allow you to watch the video of the testimony so you can argue it, but you're not going to be here for that. And then the defense did try to set this up to make him a witness, but the witness was so freaking stupid. And I don't know if it's because she's that dumb or if because she's that smart and played dumb, but she couldn't answer simple questions about relating to the phone call, about meeting up with Gravely, where she was, what the whole conversation was about. She just played, I don't know. And I had a clip, but we're not going to play it because we got time issues. But go back and watch it. It's actually, if you go back to day 6 of the trial, it is at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Go back and watch it. And it is the dumbest freaking answers. She can't answer a question. So the state wasn't able to set it up to the point to make Gravely a witness.
I think that there's a heated debate around Narita because some people think that she's actually stupid. I don't. I see moments where she's highly in tune with the questions being asked, and then others where she feigns ignorance. From my opinion, it's ignorance is a power play. She's trying to get out of answering any questions. And the question is why? I think that there's a lot of reasons that she should have been looked into, and she just wasn't, which segues right into the rest of the discussion about her, is that we have the text messages that she turned over to the leading investigator when she was questioned in the first place, where she redacted pieces of her conversation with Rosalia Gutierrez and then turned it over. Why is she editing those out? And why was she collecting those before? Why was she taking these screenshots before Rosalia was even found missing?
Because she saw a Facebook post, Solomon. We all know that. She testified to it.
There was no Facebook post before the 19th
because that was her testimony.
Because it on the 19th is when Campbell had mentioned that he was missing. He was the first one to announce anything about it, and she was taking those screenshots on the 18th, the Monday. Why? She was proven to be at the crime scene. Now, this should be 101, investigation 101. The person who's at the crime scene at the alleged time of the disappearance or the potential crime should be your number one suspect. But instead, They just took Sadie's word for it, and they went right down the rabbit hole to try and hang Zach for a crime he didn't commit.
Yeah. But her testimony is totally incredible. And we can speculate about, is she dumb? Is she smart? What exactly is going on during those 40 minutes and things like that. But the bottom line is that the text messages themselves do not make sense. You say you're going to be at a place and you're running 40 minutes late, right? Let's just assume you're doing that. There's no message ahead of time, and yet you say, hey, I'm here 40 minutes after the time that you're supposed to be there. And then you say, oh, I'm worried about you. Where are you? Okay, I'm leaving now.
You forgot Rosalia was supposed to come out in roller skates to her car and give her drinks.
Okay.
I mean, orange juice or Jesus, right? So,
Yeah.
so there's that piece as well, and so with that, we also have an exchange between her and Rosalia, where Rosalia actually offers to meet her somewhere else. She testifies that she didn't feel comfortable meeting up with him in public, so she went to his house, but didn't feel comfortable going into his house, even though she drove to his parking lot. So just the behavior that we're looking at doesn't make sense. And Rosalia was willing to go out and meet up with her somewhere else that was neutral ground. The excuse that she made was that he loved his mother and therefore and had a daughter, and therefore she could trust him, which doesn't make sense either. So none of her excuses add up. So there's a mix of playing ignorant, dishonesty, misleading, and suspicious behavior that the police never ever looked into. They never downloaded her phone. They never tracked her whereabouts, when she was where, including when she pulled into the parking lot in and around Rosalia's home.
Was she in that geofencing?
None of that was done. They didn't look for her phone number in the geofencing.
Lawkong, have you looked at the difference between the Apple and the Google Maps at all in your investigation?
I'm sorry, I haven't.
Okay, I was just wondering because I haven't either. But I was just wondering, just independent research sort of thing, right? Collective knowledge of the internet seems to have a lot more information to offer than some of the stuff we get from the trial.
Yeah.
I believe the girls of wrongful did a little bit of a deep dive between them, and Apple Maps does go to the correct location. Google Maps does go around the corner. So that was part of the argument today, where they were talking about this elongated discussion where Narita tried to get out of really answering the question, like playing stupid, like trying not to answer the question directly because she knew that she screwed up. She knew that she misrepresented it. She knew that she said she used Google to get there when she had used Apple and was caught using Apple from the screenshots, Apple Maps, to navigate on the night of Rosalia's disappearance, which would have taken her to the correct location. So we have the evidence conflicting with the change in her testimony that conveniently changed when she was given the address, given the location by the prosecutor to meet them there. I've not seen that exchange of text messages either.
When I was watching this trial live for the first time, this is when I really started to think the defense has got this made. This woman is completely not credible. And this was, before this, it was mainly police officers. We had the victim's mother, whatever. But in X, but this was like the first witness where I was like, this woman, this is what they've got. This is not a credible witness. But apparently, I don't know if it was brought in too early. Maybe the defense should have called her back to the stand. I don't know. Refresh the jury's memory of this woman. Did we say everything we wanted to say about Chronicles of Narnia?
Yeah, I think so. I think that wraps that up. I mean, the only other thing is that so she works for the Milwaukee courthouse as a clerk, and to my understanding, they tried to get her work emails to see what was in her work email, because she was using her work email to communicate with Korea, as they said, and the Milwaukee DA. The Milwaukee DA denied the records request because some of her personal email exchanges were in her work email account, and because it was personal information, they said that they could not release it. So I don't know what sense that makes. She inappropriately used the public, service.
I want to make
But
one
here
more
we are.
argument for why I think she's actually dumb. When she was reading through the text messages, and the text message, you know how it says like read? She would say it says read, read, read. She didn't say read. It's an indicator that the text message was read, but she pronounced it read. That's why I think she's truly dumb and not faking it. Because you don't do that on the stand if you're faking it.
What if she's just the perfect stupid person to be the front man for a criminal enterprise? Because realistically, what if she was the bait on the hook, right? Because this is a thing where people will set up fake dates. Someone will go over to somebody's house, get them busy, or get them out of the house, and then they'll get robbed. And is she part of something like that? I don't know. Pure speculation. But either way, it's possible.
She does read that way, doesn't she? All right.
She does.
Could I ask David one question?
Yeah.
Because you're a lawyer, you have this experience.
Is he?
I play one on YouTube.
Well, we're going to pretend he is. Nettie claimed when she was texting Rosalio that she had just gotten off work. It's a Sunday. Would she have any business?
Working in the court on a Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, so I could see where you would, although the court wouldn't necessarily be open. Small town courts, every once in a while, I could see a situation. She works for the DA, though. She doesn't work for the court, right?
She works for Milwaukee. It's not a small town.
I don't know what she does for Milwaukee, though. I mean, okay, but just because it's a government
just a red flag
office
for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just because it's a government office and technically they wouldn't be open on the weekend doesn't mean like people don't treat it as a regular job. Sometimes you go into your job on the weekends. So I don't know enough about it. It does seem a bit odd. But I don't know enough information about what she actually does. So sorry. I would have pressed on that though, right? If I knew more about her occupation, if I'm defense attorney, I would have probably pressed on that a little.
I think that there are a lot of shortcomings on the defense.
That was the one observation I wanted to make today too. So when I was first watching this trial, again live, not knowing any information, I'm thinking the defense is doing a really good job. I'm seeing a lot of holes, a lot of weak witnesses, a lot of things like that. And again, I still think that this wasn't enough. Now having learned a ton more information that wasn't necessarily presented at trial, I feel like the defense might have dropped the ball in quite a few places. And it's things like that. You're like, oh, if we know where she works, could we have questioned her more about it? Or, just various little things. And I feel like they dropped the ball. And I am absolutely Monday morning quarterbacking this situation. So I want to, be honest about that. Okay. Next witness is Officer Giovanni, who basically goes through Zach's house. We see a bunch of pictures of Zach's house. I will say that when I first saw them, I'm like, oh, he lives in squalor. Okay, that's not good. But now that I know that he's renovating the home, it's a little different. Testifies to getting cash and taking pictures of receipts that somehow don't make it into the evidence file. Where do they go? On cross-examination, he says, well, we took pictures of a lot of stuff, but not everything made it into the evidence file. Okay, it seems like a plausible answer, but why would you say it existed in the evidence file if it didn't actually exist in the evidence file? Or are you hiding something? Because that's truly Zach's alibi. The missing piece of evidence, the missing receipt, that missing thing that there's only a photograph of that they say that they collected and put in the evidence file is his alibi. That's potentially a Brady violation. Although not technically, because they didn't turn it over because they say we didn't have it, right? So that's a huge issue. And if you guys don't know what Brady is, it basically means if you have exonerating evidence, if the state has exonerating evidence, they have to turn it over to the defense. So, but they conveniently don't have it.
What ended up happening is the prosecutor actually was forced to change his timeline to try and hammer it into a different timeline. So then he was starting to say that the body was then processed in the middle of the night. And then instead of working during the day for a couple hours that he was working on the Belgium house, that's what he was doing. And then he cleaned up immaculately, never left a drop of any sort of evidence behind at this job site or in his vehicle from all of this work or at his home from processing a body. and then went to go collect his taxes so casually after that, which is, it doesn't even make sense. The just the modus operandi, it doesn't piece together a puzzle.
He also found a bunch of cash. Lawkong, you had some questions about the cash because I think there's a conflict between the testimony. And the testimony was that it was found in an ottoman. Cash was found in an ottoman. This is a picture of the cash. Did you count it up? Yes, it was 44,000 or whatever dollars it was. But what did you find out in the reports?
Well, that there was $3,000 found elsewhere.
But that was never testified to. It wasn't testified that way. It was testified that it was all in the bag in the ottoman. Where was it supposed to have been found in the report that you saw?
I believe it was the closet.
So again, it's just, that's the small stuff. It's not going to matter at the end of the day. They're going to say it's harmless error. The dollar amount is the dollar amount. The fact that he had cash sitting around is the consciousness of guilt sort of argument. But it's just these little ticky-tacky things that, again, when you're watching the trial at the onset, when you're just sitting there and you don't know any other information, you're like, oh, he had $44,000 in an ottoman.
Well,
when he didn't. He had $3,000 stored somewhere else.
I have to go back to COVID because at my bank, I didn't have a human in my bank for months. I didn't have anyone to talk to. If I couldn't get things done through the ATM, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So if he needed $50,000 because he's got an issue in South Dakota, he's got issues with Sadie, in court cases for the children, or buying property because he was moving. Why wouldn't he take the money? Why wouldn't he have that money? He's going to need it. And again, we had no idea where COVID was going.
I just have to talk to the chat real quick. I don't see Jung in the chat. She insisted that we go an hour, and we actually have an hour's worth of content. She's not even in the freaking chat. Sorry. You guys all yell at her somewhere.
Jung would do that. She might be at work. Who knows? So interestingly enough, you said like that we testified to 47,000 and change today with Officer Giovanni, but when it's taken into custody at the police station in Kenosha, suddenly there's $1,500 missing from that sum, and the sum from the closet gone. So we've got about $5,000 that just vanished.
That's why they didn't talk about it. That's why they didn't talk about the two locations.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they didn't testify to it. What they write in the report could be a typo. What they testify to on the stand is perjury.
Right.
So that's why they say we found it in one location and it totaled up to X amount, whatever he said. I don't remember exactly. But that's why, because there's missing money. Padding pockets. Yes, exactly. That's all I got on this guy. He was pretty quick, up and down, and then we were on to the next witness.
And he's supposed to be related to one of the jurors.
That's the last one. Yeah.
Yep. That's right. Oh, well, no, he was related to the husband of one of the jurors, but a family member that she's never met.
Yeah.
So, and the judge was like, well, there's some family members of mine I wish I'd never met. Fair enough comment. But there was actually, and he references a Supreme Court decision and a Justice Thomas decision that said that that's not enough. You have to have some sort of conflict because in small towns, everyone could be related to everyone. But if you don't know them and you're not interacting with them every day, then it's not going to be an issue. It's essentially what the Supreme Court decision said. It doesn't, if you connect everybody, eventually somewhere down the line, like I have a cousin I found in Kentucky I never met. So, anyway, so the juror ended up staying, if I remember correctly, right? The juror stayed on. Do we know if that was an alternate?
I believe. I don't know. If
that was my only question. Did that juror end up being an alternate, or is this possible angle for?
It is a possible angle for appeal, but I don't remember. I do not believe that she became an alternate.
Okay. So that might be an angle for appeal as well. It's interesting that none of the juror members have spoken out about this, given the high publicity of this case.
Would you?
Huh?
Would you? You should be embarrassed.
Well, yeah, okay, fair enough. But I would come out and be like, if I convicted somebody, I'd stand up and say, yeah, absolutely. But that's me. I'm also on YouTube talking to people, so I could get why I guess someone doesn't want to, but I'm just surprised that nobody did. Like even on Crumbly, at least the jury foremen both spoke to the media. I mean, Vampire Woman and
I
Elderly
get my tarot
Frankenstein.
cards out.
Yeah, I know. All right. So then we have Brandon Hendricks, who's the next witness that testified.
Hendrickson.
No, Hendrickson. God. Well, you know me and names.
I know.
Everyone
I
knows
know.
me.
I've taken it upon myself to correct you every time you mess them up.
This guy with his long ponytail and his carefully coiffed beard. So this gentleman testifies now. He's a friend of Rosalio. I'm not sure exactly of the purpose of his testimony, honestly. I really don't know what it serves. Do you have any idea, Solomon, as to what they were really getting at with this guy?
I believe that it was to set up alibi and credibility for Michael Campbell.
So was he basically called because the defense opened the door during during their opening statement?
No, because Gravely was hell bent on trying to argue against the Denny motion, even though the Denny motion was denied. So he brought this guy in. He brought one of the witnesses that's coming Monday for the next day of trial. There were several witnesses that he brought in with no other purpose than to try and give Michael Campbell an out or an alibi.
Okay, so preemptive alibi witness for the Denny. What's interesting is once we get to Michael Campbell, the defense makes a motion, or not makes a motion, but sort of prefaces like, hey, I'm going to be asking a bunch of questions of this witness, but it's not going to Denny because I'm not arguing that he did it. I'm just arguing that the police didn't properly investigate him. And the judge gave them fair enough leeway with that, which was good because they weren't trying to point the finger at him. They were just saying, hey, this is a possible suspect that the police never looked into. So I guess the state was right by maybe anticipating that and calling this guy to bolster the Michael Campbell's testimony, I guess. But he ends up going to Zach's house on what day exactly? May 13th, was it?
No, May 9th.
Oh, I'm sorry, not May 13th,
19th.
May 19th. May 19th. I don't know, I'm way up. May 19th. And along with Michael Campbell. And we're going to get to that in a minute because we have the 911 phone call from Michael Campbell that we're going to play here in a few minutes. But other than that, I don't really have anything else to add about this guy. I really don't know anything.
But we had a whole heated discussion about a denial of impeaching a witness's credibility with prior criminal act.
Oh, we did have that. That's right. We did discuss that. Yeah. So apparently this guy has a DC, which is some sort of felony case in Wisconsin, but it's unknown as to what exactly his crime is. And so the defense wanted to impeach this witness with his prior criminal record, and the judge denied it. And I believe that's a fair denial because typically you're not allowed to impeach a witness with their prior crimes. Just a witness, right? We're not talking about a defendant or anything like that. A witness with their prior crimes, unless their prior crimes tends to go to credibility. So think of embezzlement or think of some sort of theft crime that involves like scheming or fraud, because it involves you lying to somebody. So those sort of things can then tend to show that you're not really credible because you lie to people, right? So if it's outside of that type of criminal activity, they usually won't allow you to impeach a witness with that. And the defense went there saying that they really didn't know what kind of crime it was, and the judge didn't know. I have a reason to believe that it probably wasn't a crime involving some sort of lying or deception or fraud, because it probably would have been brought up.
It was a disorderly conduct of some violence.
Yeah. So that's not something that would tend to prove or credibility on the stand. So it was denied. So yeah, we did have that.
what the defense was trying to do is get that into the discussion, because Brandon went to Zach's house and Zach was threatened by them showing up on his property, and that was shown in the questioning that Nicole on cross kind of pushed through. There was a question that she threw in there because I mean, maybe it's strategy, maybe it was because she was getting annoyed, but she looked at him and she said, "You know, you're under oath, right?" And that
got a great.
The judge bristled at that one. That's an improper question.
What was funny is the question just before that was really argumentative, and Gravely, having learned what an argumentative question is now, was like, I know that now. That's an argumentative question. I'm going to object. So that was great. He's using his knowledge now. Yeah, that was. I forgot about that. That was so good. I think I caught that too during the live, and I was like, oh, he's learning. Yay.
He actually said, with my new understanding of argumentative questions.
Exactly how he said it. That's right. That was great. That was so good. Yeah, so we had a lot of we had so many good things come out of today's not good thing, like weird funny things about Gravely and that sort of thing. Not good testimony. All the testimony was shit. But
Joe, what out of the witnesses that we've talked about so far, what are your observations?
Out of all the witnesses today, or from the beginning of the trial?
No, just today. Today's the day. We're talking about today.
Day 6.
They're all suspect. I mean, they're terrible. They're terrible witnesses.
I mean, what do you mean by that? I mean, terrible witnesses like that they're not credible.
Well,
terrible witnesses that
there you go.
Suspicious, that they're like what piece of it is makes it terrible?
I don't trust any one of them. They all seem to.
Do you think this woman is the ringleader?
You never know, because she is in pharmaceuticals, and so is Brandon. Well, Brandon's in so has something to do with the medical field. So there could be something going on with drugs with these people. Could be. Not saying there is, folks.
Cool. Would you want to introduce this woman, Lawkong?
This is Eileen Knoll. She is a former girlfriend of Rosario Gutierrez Jr., woman who was beat by this man, but yada, yada, yada.
That's not how they introduced her.
Oh, no.
They introduced her in the courtroom.
Oh, she's an employer of Rosario Gutierrez.
And a friend, and just a friend.
An investor into his business.
Yes.
So
as soon as she got on the stand, I said she dated this guy. That was my first thought. And then I don't know who discovered it. Was it you, Lawkong, that discovered that they were actually together? Like if it went back through their Facebook page and stuff.
Well, I knew from people here in FCA that they were telling me this, and I was dumbfounded how easy it was to find this picture back in 2017 of her and Rosario together. It's still on his Facebook page. So all these women that he's dating should have been able to see this, and that may have been a problem for him.
I mean, moreover, if they were having problems because he wasn't doing the work or not doing it well, which seems to be a condition of the nature of the jobs that he was working on, and it was rubbing her wrong, and they were losing a bunch of money. I don't know who else was investing in their property endeavor, but if someone was getting unhappy with him not delivering on the labor as it was supposed to have been completed, there's motive. And on top of that, there was a history of a drunken strangling. She talked a little bit about his alcoholism, and he got drunk and he beat her up. He strangled her. So we have a history of a violent offense from him against her which is still that's still motive. And so we have multiple aspects of potential motive for her to have been involved in this crime as well.
Do we know if her cell phone was downloaded and
No.
dumped?
It was not.
It was not. Okay. Well, no, why would it be? Was it Michael Campbell's?
Michael Campbell, after the Denny motion was brought, then Gravely was like, "Would you mind? We could really use it," which was years later. It was in 2022. So it was almost 2 years after the investigation is when they approached Michael Campbell to download his cell phone, and only in response to the Denny motion. And that for all of you out there should put a big weight on your chest for this, that they didn't care about investigating anyone other than Zach at all, period. Not Narita, not Eileen, not Michael Campbell, not Brandon, not anyone. Nobody. The people that gave false testimony, the people that gave conflicting statements to the police, all of these people, they didn't bother following up on them.
So now she claims to be friends not only with Rosalio, but Michael Campbell and Brandon Hendrickson.
Brandon Hendrickson. Yeah, you got it. You're learning.
Just like Gravely. So she's friends. So she's friends with all these people. They're running a circle. They're all working together, investing in their businesses or whatever. Mind you, Rosalio owed money to. It wasn't who did he owe money to?
Michael Campbell.
Was it Michael Campbell? Okay.
There was a discussion that was from the Denny motion, and also there was another guy that he owed money to.
That's the other guy I was trying to think of. Apparently he paid him little for a counter job or
Dan
something.
Spears, yeah.
Yes, thank you. So they're all running in a circle. They've all got sort of kind of motives. They're and none of these people are really looked into. And then the final witness for today is this friendly guy. What do you want to say about him, Solomon?
Well, we've talked a little bit about the Denny motion already. This guy was the first person to show up at the crime scene completely unannounced outside of Sadie. He just showed up 2:30 in the afternoon, 2:20 in the afternoon, whatever it was, and the police spoke to him, thought that he was a trustworthy guy. Michael Gravely says that he's that he's a hero for then taking investigation into his own hands and driving up to my brother's house to then threaten him in the driveway, or approach him in a very threatening way. And he didn't use his own vehicle to drive up there. He used his mother's vehicle. Why did he do that? I mean, did he have ignition interlock? Was he being monitored on that other vehicle? Or
no, I'm just wondering if he's so broke that he doesn't have his own vehicle.
He had his own car. He had his own
work trucks.
But the question was, did he have evidence of the crime in the back of the truck, and is that why he used his mother's car? I don't know.
He had a rug in the back of his truck.
And the police find that out 2 years later.
So he goes to Zach's house. Sorry, I don't know why my computer glitched out and I disappeared for a minute. But did you talk about him going to Zach's house?
Yeah. We mentioned him going to Zach's house, and we mentioned him using a different car and threatening Zach, and how he didn't have a good alibi. He also incorrectly remembered the last time that he saw Rosalio. His cell phone GPS placed him at Rosalio's house at 1:40 in the morning. So that was, in the wee hours of the morning, like around bar close on that Saturday night. So think about like the end of the bar shift day on that Saturday. He stops by Rosalio's on the way home from the bar.
Oh, I forgot I was sharing my screen.
and I don't know what they talked about. I don't know how long they were there. I don't know what exactly had transpired, but he consistently ignores that event. And the question is why?
Now, he just doesn't remember. Doesn't remember the last time he saw his friend.
I know none of this makes sense. They incorrectly remember a lot of things wrong
I think
that is convenient enough for their story, right?
But
It's
you know
not
who?
convenient enough if it doesn't help the state's narrative, right?
But
Then
nobody puts Rosalio's children on the stand or interviews them, and they were supposed to be there the night
they
that
were.
Campbell's there.
For the pizza
Yeah.
party.
Did they even interview the kids? Do we know?
I haven't seen any transcript of the interview of Rosalio's kids.
I mean, one of those kids was probably sleeping on that couch, and Mike Campbell shows up at 1:00 in the morning.
Well, we have Mike Campbell's call to the police. It's not a 911 call. After he leaves Zach's house. Now, what's interesting about this, we're going to listen to Zach's call. It's going to be a post-credit scene, so you guys want to stick around at the end. But we're going to listen to this now, and then it's very interesting. I think they're trying to cover something up, the fact that they were actually there to threaten Zach. But let's take a listen.
Department, this is Jay. How may I help you?
Hi, Katie. This is Michael Campbell. I was just at a, I don't know the 6813 Highland Road. My friend is from Kenosha, Wisconsin, and I tried to do my own investigating, and I went to go talk to the guy there.
Okay.
I just wanted to know that I didn't go there with any threats or anything like that. I just wanted to talk to this Zachariah Anderson to see if he knew where my friend was at, because just because of the suspicion behind everything that I know from my friend that is missing.
Okay.
So,
And who's your friend that's missing?
his name is Rosalio Gutierrez.
Okay. And who are you looking for?
I was looking for a Zachariah Anderson, I think his name is.
Okay.
The last address that I seen was, the address that I had given you. And
Okay.
I went and spoke to maybe his brother. He said it was his brother.
Okay.
And, just asking him questions, and, it was just really weird. And, and I just wanted to let you guys know that I didn't go there with any threats.
Okay.
Just in case you tried to say that I was, threatening them or anything like that. I was not. I was just going there to ask questions. I'm very concerned about my friends that's been missing since Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, we did get a call there. So, why don't I have you talk to my Sergeant Rudolph, and she'll kind of, talk to you about it and see what's going on, okay?
That's totally fine. Thank
Okay, sure. Hold on just a moment.
you.
It does. It does sound high pitched.
His
doesn't
name
it?
is Mike Campbell. Hello, this is Sergeant Rudolph. Oh, here he comes.
And then they cut it off. So once the officer or Sergeant Campbell gets on the phone, the recording stops.
Why
But,
would you make that phone call if you didn't do something suspicious?
I
It's a
just want to make
CYA
it
phone
clear
call.
that we weren't threatening him. Why would you make that call? It doesn't make any sense. It's
You
so
wouldn't
weird.
need to make that call if you weren't threatening.
Exactly. Now, Lawkong put in the chat that his voice sounds high. And I wanted to know if it is high compared to how he was testifying. And I might play this. I just want to hear it real
That's
quick.
high as in
maybe-
pitch, not.
Maybe it's just Lawkong is just soothed by hearing you and me talk to him. So now
Smooth
Campbell.
listening.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's why I want to know. He's on the stand today.
Hey, ladies.
How does he sound?
David, we're running out
No,
of
it
time
is
for
okay.
this.
Wait, hang on. Hang on 1 second.
So that she would get in touch with you.
Oh God, that voice.
She was an investor that we both worked for.
Okay, his voice
An
is a little
investor
bit
that we
higher
both
than I
work for.
remember.
See, an investor that we both work for. He talks about him as an investor. It's just a dishonest characterization of exactly what her relationship was with Rosalio. So,
but it is a bit higher. But all kinds of issues with him and his testimony. You guys need to go check out day 6 of the trial. If you haven't watched it, both Solomon and I streamed it on our channels earlier. I apologize for the glitch at the end where it freezes, but they literally talk about nothing else. It freezes for like 2 minutes, and this is just the judge pontificating about BS. Sorry, Salvador, for cutting off your Jensen conversation. Well, that was the other thing we didn't mention. Oh, we're running out of time. We're out of time. But
we're going 2 hours tonight. What are you talking about?
No, we're not. There's so much to talk about. Okay, so there was a lot of hearsay that was tried to get in today. That the defense actually did a really good job, and it's a reference back to the Jensen trial with the what do you call it? The letter, the
letter from the dead.
Yeah, letter from the
grave.
Yeah, letter from the grave, which was denied by the judge because a direct result of the Jensen case coming back from the Court of Appeals. So that was very interesting. But that led to, what's her name? Elaine? Knoll, whatever.
Eileen Knoll.
Eileen Knoll. It led to Eileen Knoll's testimony literally being like 10 minutes with no cross-examination because the defense did a really good job keeping all this BS hearsay out about how Rosalio was scared of Zach and whatever. I don't know. It was all kinds of nonsense. It was a letter from the grave type testimony, and the judge specifically just dealt with that with Jensen and wasn't able to get it in, or the state wasn't able to get it in because of that. So thank you, Jensen, for that contribution. At least there's some benefit that came out of that crazy ass trial. That was the last thing that we forgot to talk about with Miss Knoll. Other than that, what we're going to do is when we end this stream, we're going to play the credits like we normally do. And then you're going to get the full Zachariah Anderson 911 call when Mike Campbell and Brandon were at his property. So stick around for that. Lawkong, anything to add as we head out?
Well, you caught me off guard. Well, first, I need to thank you for everything you've done, David. I mean, dealing with the police, getting stuff from court clerks, whatnot, and sharing it with people. You don't have to. So
trying to share everything we can here because this is an important case and it needs to get out there bit by bit. We just need to constantly keep it out there. And what you've been doing too is awesome. And I told you privately, I'm going to tell publicly, after I listened to your Article 5 or Note 5, whatever you call it, your most recent stream, I feel like I have to go back and redo my whole approach to the documentary. I'm not like starting over from scratch, but it was so good. It's inspired me to do better with my documentary. So you've been doing good work as well.
Well, that message you sent it really meant something to me. It really touched me.
Well, I'm glad. Because I meant it. I was listening to it, and you're really doing some good work over there. So
it really is spectacular. Make sure that you go to Lawkong Express. He deep dives a lot of evidentiary questions on different aspects of this case, things that just didn't add up. Where are the keys? Who talked to the mailman? Look at the door. He could only say it so many times.
Pound the door.
There are. You have a lot of really valid questions and some really excellent critical thought. So that's going to be it for episode 5. Episode 6 is Monday. So David and I get to have the weekend, prepping for this coming week, and then spending time with our families, like most of the rest of you. Monday during the day, we are streaming day 7, and day 7 of this case will have the day starting out with Michael Campbell. Then we have Erica Saylor, his alibi. Then we have Ron Watucky, that people called Bill Nye, who's an evidence tech from the Milwaukee Crime Lab. We have Cassie Remsburg, and then Munch on the trial coming on Monday. So we're going to have another another big episode to talk about on Monday evening.
Yes, stick around for after the credits, and you will hear Zach's call. So stick around for that.
So a little postscript. Ready?
Yep, little postscript. All right. Thank you very much, Lawkong, for joining us. Everyone in chat,
It's been my
thank
pleasure.
you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Take care, guys.
Mac 1911, what's the location of your emergency?
So, Zach, you can transfer the callers at 6813 West Highland Road, 6813 West Highland.
Okay, and...
Caller, can you go ahead and talk to the dispatcher?
Yeah, I've got two gentlemen standing in my driveway posturing for physical harm, saying that there was some type of a confrontation between a friend of theirs. I'm not really sure. I didn't follow the story exactly, but I was on the phone with my dad. I walked inside the house and I called 911 right away. I don't know what they want or what they're waiting for, but...
Okay, can you describe the two people that are in your driveway?
Yep, one of them's got a shaved head. Both of them have facial hair. One of them's got a shaved head and one of them's got a hat on. White guy's about 6 feet tall.
Both white guys? Okay.
Yeah.
Facial hair on both?
Yeah.
All right. And you're not exactly sure why they're there?
No, they said that they were looking for somebody or something about a struggle. I'm not really sure.
Okay. And are you there by yourself, or did you say someone else was there with you?
Yeah, I have a girl over.
Okay. And your name?
My name is Zach.
Zach, what's your last name?
Anderson. I told them that I was their brother, though. That I was the guy's that I was my brother.
Okay, so you gave him a false name to...
Right.
Okay, gotcha. And who's the girl that's with you?
Her name is Christine.
Christine, okay. All right, and you guys are the only two in the house?
Yeah, please.
All right. Hold on, I'm going to get officers headed over there. You just stay on the line with me, okay?
Yes, please.
Okay, hold on. All right, Zach, I have officers on the way.
Yes, please.
Okay, are they still out there?
Well, I'm going to walk outside with you on the phone.
Why don't you just look out the window? I don't want to put you in any harm, okay?
They're parked in an awkward spot.
Okay, so they're in a vehicle?
They were out of a vehicle, but...
Okay, what kind of vehicle are they in?
I'm taking a picture of it right now.
Okay. Can you...
Yeah, I got him on the phone right now. He's asking who you are exactly, and I'm trying to explain. Yeah, it's also weird for a couple of guys to drive up from Kenosha to find out or to check with them. What was your name again? You said Ralph and Mike? Ralph and Mike? He says he doesn't know you, though. Of course he doesn't know you? You don't know him? What do you mean, what's going on? Him and my buddy's girlfriend.
I'm sorry, what was that?
He's saying something about his buddy's girlfriend right now. I'm not really sure I'm following the story, but...
Okay. And what kind of vehicle are they in again?
It's a maroon Kia or... Yeah. Like I said, he's over at his girl's house right now, but... You know, I thought you came here looking for my brother. Now you don't give a fuck where he's at? Do you know where his buddy is at? No, he's saying he doesn't know what you're talking about, man. Did the detectives get a hold of you yet?
Was that to me?
Yeah.
Detectives get a hold of us yet? No.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. No, like I said, man, he's not following that very well. AHD. Yeah, you too. AHD 8808 or something like that. It's a maroon.
AHD 8808. Okay.
Something like that. My eyes aren't that good, and I'm looking through the screen. But they're going to go.
Yeah. No, you're.
On Highland right now.
They're leaving on Highland right now. Which way are they going?
They're going east on Highland right now.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. I'm still going to be able to hear you, but you're not going to hear me for just a moment, okay?
Yeah, I'm just running out to the driveway to see which way they turn.
Okay.
They're at Highland and Cedarburg Road right now, looking like they're going to continue east.
Okay, you said it looks like they're continuing east?
Yep, they're going east. Like I said, I don't know if they're looking to threaten me or whatever. They both got out of the car and started walking towards me or whatever, and I was on the phone. So I started describing them on the phone. Yeah, still east. I'm going to lose sight of them. They're going to go over the hill, east on Highland. The maroon, newer Kia.
Okay. Yep, you're right. That's exactly what it came back on.
Yeah.
Okay, and my squad should be just about there, okay?
Right. They said that they were up from Kenosha for something about their buddy's girlfriend. I'm not really sure, but I'm here with mine right now.
Okay.
So,
all right. All right. Are you still out in the yard, or are you in the house?
No, I'm walking back.
You're walking back in the house. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my officers are almost on scene with you there.
Are they going to stop the Kia and searching for weapons?
I have several on the way just because of how your call came in and everything. So I have several on the way. They're going to go look for the car, and I have a couple that are going to come talk to you as well.
Right, that sounds good. My guess is they were headed for Kenosha, back to the freeway or something like that if they're from Kenosha.
That's my guess too. If they went eastbound on Highland, yeah,
right.
I have a car over that way that's going to look for them. And you gave a great description of the car and having the plate and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you said you have no idea why they were there, huh?
No, they said something about their friend's girlfriend.
Okay.
Your friend and your friend's girlfriend, something along those lines. And I said, I don't know. I can't tell you.
And you've never seen them before, huh?
I've never seen those guys at all.
And did you say they were Ralph and Mike?
Ralph and Mike, that's what they called themselves. But it'd be nice to know their real names because they show up threatening me about something. It'd be nice to know what their real names are and what they're trying to do, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, for them to show up on your doorstep.
I mean, I don't own a gun or anything for self-defense. So if they were coming here looking to do some harm or threaten me or whatever that was about, absolutely not.
Right.
And like I said, I diffused it just by saying I'm my brother.
Did they mention anything? You said that they were kind of posturing, but did they mention anything about them having any weapons or any intent to harm you? Did they actually verbally say that?
No, they didn't say anything. They just said that they were looking for my brother, and I thought one of them was going to pull a gun right away because he they both kind of kicked their legs out, puffed up their chest a little bit, and then one reached for his belt or whatever, and I said that I wasn't me, and then he stopped.
Okay,
and,
so they did say that they were looking for you?
Yeah, they said that they were looking for me specifically, and I told them that I was my brother.
Okay, good. Good.
But, I mean, they also said something if the detectives had talked to me or something. I really didn't follow his story.
Yeah.
But I don't know if detectives were supposed to come and talk to me.
Do you have friends down in Kenosha, or were you down there recently for anything?
I have no friends in Kenosha. I don't know what they wanted from me. I don't know those guys. So, I don't really know what they were looking to accomplish or they were looking to do.
Okay.
you know, outside of maybe harm me. You know, why do you guys have to show up to ask me questions? And honestly, if they have my address, why wouldn't they have my phone number or whatever?
Yeah,
if you have a question for me, I mean, you know, they were here for some reason in particular. So.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm just gonna update my officers. Hold on, just a moment, okay?
Right.
Okay.
13 she filed. I filed. Sadie filed custody for the kids, looking for sole custody, not shared custody and stuff. She filed on 5/13. I filed on 5/8. So she filed in kind of retaliation for me filing, and this is them serving me those papers. And yeah, so I've been notified that that's her interest in the case. You know, on the well-being of the kids, which, like I said, she goes to the bar multiple times every week and takes her kids. I don't think it's just bananas, the whole shit.
Hey Zach, I apologize. My officers were all headed over looking for that car since you said it left the scene, so that's why they haven't showed up yet. But I wanna keep you on the line if I can, just in case they show up again. Maybe they circle back around or something.
Yeah.
Did they know that you were calling us?
No, they thought that I was on the phone with my dad in the first place.
Okay.
I said, let me go call my brother real quick. And I walked in the house, and I came outside after I called 911, and I took a camera. And I took a picture of the vehicle in my driveway.
Perfect.
A picture of them. So,
yeah.
You know, so they can't deny that they were here. But like I said, if they're looking to perpetrate some type of harm or damage to my property or harm to me or anything along those lines, I'd like it well documented who they are.
No, I agree. I think you did exactly the right thing. That's what I would have done if someone showed up like that at my house too.
Yeah.
All right, I'm still here, but I'm just gonna put you on hold for a minute while I check with my officers and I'll see how long it's gonna be till they get there. Okay?
Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not in any other hurry. I've got company here. Like I'm a little, you know, I guess anxious or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can imagine. Yeah. I just in case they show up again, I want to keep you on the line. Okay?
Yeah. No.
All right. Okay. Hold on just a moment. Okay?
Right.
All right, Zach. I apologize for keeping you on hold so long.
No,
I have officers on the way there right now. Because of this whole COVID thing, do you mind meeting them out at the end of the driveway so they don't have to come into the house?
No, that's fine. I'll even put a mask on if it reassures them a little bit, because I have one of those.
If you want to, you can. It's
I'll bring it with.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's perfect. And then, just so they know that it's you at the end of the driveway and not one of the other guys. What kind of clothes are you wearing?
I'm in a black hoodie with a white T-shirt on and jeans.
Black hoodie. All right. All right. Are you on a cell phone that you can stay on the line with me while you head out there?
I can. Yes.
Okay. Good. That way, if anything were to happen on their way there, you know.
Of course. Yeah. Of course.
I can let you know, that kind of thing.
Right. No. Absolutely.
Okay.
Just want the police to do their checking. Those boys are
no,
up
I
there
agree.
trouble, you know?
Yeah. No. Perfect. Okay. Hold on just a minute while I let them know that you're coming out. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay.
They want me to wait at the end of the driveway. You want to wait with me? Okay.
Is she gonna go out with you?
Yeah. She's walking out with me.
Okay. I'll let them know that you're gonna have her with you, so they don't,
Yeah.
wonder what's going on. Okay. Hold on. All right. Just let them know that there's going to be 2 people out there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is there anybody? Oh, never mind. You said that Christine was the only one there, right?
Yeah. Just
awesome. Excellent.
Major.
And what's Christina's last name?
Remsburg. I want to know who you are. Arrest her. Have them arrest her. Just wake her up. It's the traditional spelling. I'm not
the
sure.
traditional spelling, right?
Burg, like a hamburger. Put around
hamburger. So B-U-R-G?
Yeah, just B-U-R-G.
Okay.
Hey, people came here to kill me today. Why are you pushing me? Whoa. chalk that up to the weirdest shit that's happened to me in a year.
Yeah, that's not something that happens to everybody every day.
I mean, I thought I'd at least throw them off because they were coming at me with it. Both of them got out of the car and started coming at me.
Yeah.
Asking me who. Well, I said, no, that's my brother. And then they, Mike got the wrong guy, or whatever. And so that stopped them for a second. But if they showed up with, a gun or something,
yeah.
Something funny, Can you
Okay.
say what the fuck when you call 911? Because that's how I feel. What?
Yes, you can say that. We're used to that.
Right.
Definitely.
Right,
And my officer should be pulling up.
yeah.
Do you see him? Are you out there?
Two squad
Okay.
trucks here now, so I got them.
Perfect. Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Hi. I got.
All right. I'll let you go then,
Zach.
Zach.
Out on the road. Sure. Is that okay?
Yeah, we'll just stop right over here.
Okay.
Wherever you're comfortable. Yeah.
Suspicious people came over here?
Yeah. Do I let you go now?
Yep. I'll let you go then. You're out with them. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.